Welcome all to Walk in the Weird. I am Tyler, and with me as always.
It's Sean, guys. How you guys doing?
And today, apparently, we have. I know I say it's gonna be a fun one. This is not gonna be a fun one.
It's not gonna be a fun one.
Like I'm just not even gonna bury the lead on this one. It's just like this gets into actually stuff that I know about. From what I know very little with the case, but from what he has told me, it gets into a lot of conspiracy theories and stuff like that. So this should be a fun one.
Yeah. So this one is
It's like a blend of both of our things.
right. So it's a true crime case, but it fills in with some of the conspiracies. If you guys remember, me and Tyler did an episode on Torn Reels on an episode called American Conspiracy: The Octopus Murders. This is one of them. This is where all that documentary is pretty much based off of this guy named Danny Casalaro. So this case of Danny Casalaro is an interesting one because I'm going to give you some of the background.
Okay.
Surprisingly enough, the people in West Virginia are actually pretty tight-lipped about this. So sorry about that. I had to spit on my gum. Apologize, y'all. So I called a few people. I called a few of the local police departments over there by the Sheraton Hotel in Martinsburg, West Virginia. I don't think the Sheraton Hotel is there anymore, but I called a few police officers there, and asked for information on the suicide of Danny Casalaro. I'm sorry, I always want to say Casanatra, but that's not his name.
Well, like La Cosa Nostra or something.
Yeah, like Cosa Nostra.
Yeah.
Like that's what goes through my head for whatever reason. Anyway, Danny Casalaro, the police officers there don't like talking about it. So I called and asked about the suicide of Danny Casalaro, and they hung up on me. And then I asked them about, I was like, the murder of Danny Casalaro, and then they hung up on me again when I called back. And then I called another sheriff, and they were like, well, it's a suicide case. I was like, okay, the suicide of Danny Casalaro. And they were like, it is classified information as it's still ongoing. I was like, but you said it was a suicide. You ruled it already, and then are saying it's an ongoing investigation. So was it an ongoing investigation, or is it ruled?
To be fair, sometimes suicides they just keep them kind of open.
Yeah, for a while, just in case something does pop up.
It's almost like with the suicide, they know it's a suicide, but they're like, it's weird,
Right.
So they'll keep it open. Not saying necessarily that that's this one, but they do that.
So on certain cases, I'm just
trying to be fair.
No, it's true. No, I get it, and then I understand. They just seemed more defensive than they would be about other cases. You know what I mean? This is not the first case that we did in a random town like Martinsburg or fucking Wichita, some random stuff where a lot of police officers are way more open and more like, hey, let me tell you what it is.
Yeah,
they seemed kind of tight-lipped, and they were asking other questions. They're like, hey, what's your information? And I was like, I'm a reporter. I do a local podcast. I'm trying to figure out some of the information, and they kind of avoided the question. Whatever, not the point. The point is, I did get a hold of some of the medical notes. Now, before we get into this, I want to go over some of the medical notes with you. So the suicide of Danny Casalaro was ruled a suicide due to the fact that he had slits in his wrist. He had 3 or 4 major slits in his right wrist, and then 7 or 8 on his left wrist.
Okay.
They were to the point where they were cutting tendons. That's how deep they were. So they were cutting tendons on all the scratches, according to the medical officer and all the notes. They were deep enough to where they were cutting tendons every time he cut.
Okay.
Right? He had other abrasions that they ruled off as, I guess there's a bit of a surge when you're about to pass away or when you're about to die, that you kind of have this regretful moment and you try to stop everything.
It's almost like your body forces you to be like, no, you have to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a last instinct thing where your body's like, no, we're going to keep going.
Yeah.
And you try to stop it, but it's already
it's too late. Yeah.
So they blamed a lot of the bruising on his legs and a lot of the bruising on everywhere else, that basically based on that. And I was like, okay. There are some strange places, strange abnormalities. We're gonna go through it here, where bruising is shown, where other things are shown that are not really like.
It's weird that
It's
they're
weird.
there at all.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Even the initial like slits on the wrist is weird to me. I'm for anybody who's a Constantine fan. There's a part in the movie where he
That's what
cuts
I
his
think,
wrist. Yeah, he cuts his wrist and he tries to light the
And
lighter and he drops it, and the
Yeah,
devil makes him.
tendons are the first to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he makes that
Or,
comment. Tendons
no,
are the first to go.
uh,
Motor functions the first to
yeah,
go. He
yeah,
says.
yeah.
And he
Yep.
like drops it and he's like trying to like lift his wrist up and it's hard and it's difficult. With that, I see it weird because I'm like, so he has 3 or 4 on one hand that severed his tendons, and then he grabbed the same knife and switched to the other hand, and then unless he like, and then flipped immediately, and
I
even
mean,
then, it's not even.
What about like 1-1, and then as it's going 1-1? What? I know they're not the same amount, so that's weird. But like,
But wouldn't you think you'd see the difference in depth as your motor function started going? Like if you did 1 and 1, let's say you did 1, maybe didn't cut it all the way, you still have motor function, right?
well,
You cut the other one.
do you think the like the sharpness of the knife would play into that? I mean, yeah, you'd still have to worry about the depth, but if it's sharp enough, it still could,
I could see it going through a few like.
But then you'd have the opposite. The first cuts wouldn't be as deep because it would be so sharp. You might be like, oh shit. Like,
Yeah.
Where it would go like shallower like it would go shallow at first.
Yeah, and then deeper,
And
deeper,
then
deeper.
Deep. Yeah.
Yeah. If the knife was sharp, you'd probably have
You know
that
what I mean?
opposite
Like,
effect.
because you'd be like, oh, like that really worked really, really quickly. I was,
Yeah.
maybe not expecting it to actually be that successful.
Well, yeah. I mean, unless you're like a suicide bomber, you kind of don't know what's gonna happen afterwards. Like, you know what I mean? Ha. Anyway, but
No,
sorry.
he knows what's going to happen. 40 virgins.
Virgins.
42. Wait, is it 40 or 42?
It's like 30 virgins.
Well, we really can't ask.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like I'm assuming with the like the way the economy is, they had to like take
Oh,
that away.
okay, so like
You know what I mean?
39.
Yeah, like 39. It's like inflation. You know,
Yeah.
the judge.
Yeah.
It's like their
It started
35
with
is like our
20, they're at
47.
40.
Yeah.
But you don't get the 40.
It's like on payments. You
It's
get like 1.5 every day.
Yeah, you get like 31.
You get like 31 with tax and everything. No, but so they found no they didn't really explain as to how those marks stayed consistent, because according to the notes, they're very consistent in depth, in cut, which is weird already.
So
because
are you going towards like someone else did it to him?
I think someone else killed him.
But with that, the depth and the fact that they're all like the same, I don't know why you would do that if it's somebody else. Like someone else would do that, not for you, but to you. Not even if they're trying to kill you. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it seems like, well, just fucking cut him. What? Why?
What does
Why
it
are
make a
you
difference? Yeah.
worried about that? Like,
So a lot of people have a different
do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
Because it's just so.
weird.
Who cares? Just
Yeah.
fucking kill
Just
him
kill
and
him
then
and get it
go.
over with.
Like, what are you doing?
So now this is because of
It's
that.
Like, it's like the shotgun in the back of the head where you got shot twice. Why'd you shoot him again?
Yeah.
Like,
Why would you shoot him again? You already did it once.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not. That's not a precision weapon. You
Yeah.
don't have, like, you know. Like,
you're gonna
it
blow
just,
everything.
It just seems, when I hear that, it's always like, I mean, for like, you just did, like.
No,
did
and I
you,
get
did
it.
you keep cutting him because you're like, oh, he's still like moving? Like, you know what I mean? Because you have 4 on one, and then you said 7 or 8.
Right.
On the other, it's like, well,
So
it's like,
I did
if
follow.
you're cutting him with the 4, you're like, all right, and then you did the 4 over here, and he's still like moving around. You're like, oh, I'll just keep it. But do you get where
Yeah,
I'm
no,
confused?
no, no.
I'm like,
And
it doesn't make.
so-
I don't get the
so
odd
I
number
went-
because people don't do that either.
Right.
They
So
don't
I went
like
on
odd
the.
numbers.
So I went on the Reddit. I went on Reddit threads, and I was kind of looking into this a little bit, and I kind of looked at a few of the other okay. So there's been other journalists that have researched this,
Yeah.
right? A few other journalists. They all claim that as soon as they got certain depth into the case, they started receiving anonymous phone calls.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with me. I got a few anonymous phone calls. Whether they're related or not, I don't think so. I think I was just watching a weird strand of porn, and you know how you get those random calls because of the data shit. I think that's what happened to me. But it's all right. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
No,
What do you mean?
no, never.
what? You never watch porn?
Well,
Well,
no, I didn't say that.
Oh,
I've never gotten a call.
a call what?
What are you talking about?
Okay, so you ever been on like you ever been on like Twitter or something like that, and you accidentally click like a link, or not like an actual link, but you'll click it to a page and it'll say like Norton, like whatever, and then you like delete it. You're like swipe it up. You're like, fuck it. It's not a big thing. You close out the app. You close out the phone. Whatever. You go back. It's back to normal because you didn't click on it, so you didn't get hacked. But like your information's out there, and they start like
I need
phishing.
to teach you about cybersecurity, my friend.
No,
because I've never had that happen.
No,
once.
no. Like it'll happen. It'll happen when you get those like random pop-ups, and you close out the pop-ups.
Okay, I think I kind of know what you're talking about. I've
Yeah.
never had a call.
So they're spam calls. They're just spam calls. It's because
it's
you're
random. Oh,
yeah.
like-
It's
like-
because your data gets leaked when you
Oh.
get those pop-ups.
Okay,
It
I
like
think I know what you're
generates your
talking
data.
about. Yeah, no, okay.
Yeah. It generates
I
your
think I know
data
what
from
you're
your
talking
IP
about.
address. You get less because we're using VPNs. Anyway, but
Sponsor us.
Nord or Shark or whoever the fuck.
Privacy
Anyway,
is key.
privacy is key. Anyway, the point is, so I noticed that I had logged out of your VPN by accident. So I was looking at random shit and I started receiving calls. So I thought it was like spam calls. It's weird that it ties in at the same time that I was researching this case, because everybody who's researched this case is like, yeah, we get random calls where there's nobody on the line,
That is
breathing heavy.
like I heard you kind of talk about this earlier. That is one of those things I've never believed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I
No,
know I
that's
say it
fine.
all the time. It's just like, guys, like, because it's so spy movie.
Yeah. It's
where I'm
so like, yeah.
guys, this like, I'm all for it. If
And I'll report it if
Actually-
if it really happens. If it really happens,
Yeah.
I'll report it and I'll be like, no, I got calls. I
I'm
did get
fine with
calls,
it.
but
actually, don't let me backtrack. Some I believe because I've heard stories, but others I'm like, you clearly got this part of the story from that story. 'Cause that story happened, and there's like call logs and stuff. They don't know where the call is from, but there is logs.
right.
But I'm like, okay, it happened, but not to you.
And
Like,
and look and you guys can look at my logs if you guys are tech savvy enough. Look at my logs. I literally have had random calls.
I'm not saying
Whether they're
you,
spam,
I'm
whether
just
they're
saying
not,
like
I don't
there's
know.
way too many people that are like, yeah,
Right.
no, the government like called me. Like, no, they didn't.
And you know me, I don't like to put on airs. So I'm gonna tell you 100%, there was no heavy breathing. There was nothing. It was one of those signature spam calls where you answer, hello, nobody on the line.
I've
you
got
hang up.
those.
Yeah. The only reason I brought it up is because
Oh, yeah,
I
by-
hadn't had
by-
them in such a
By
long
the
time.
way, anyone, if you get those calls, Sean, you too, if you get those calls, never say hello.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Or never say hello, yes, no, or thank you.
I yell penis.
That works. That works. Because they use that soundbite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they'll call other people and they'll use the hello and it'll get them started and they can kind of fuck with shit.
I'm also gonna tell you, like, I don't know if you noticed, we have a podcast. There's a lot of sound bites.
I think about it all the time. Just keep going.
But anyway, so with this case, there were people who say that they get calls, heavy breathing, all that stuff. I got calls, but I thought they were all spam. I think they're all spam. I don't think they have anything to do with this case. Then again, who am I? But
that one call you did get, I do need you to put in your credit card information. I mean,
what?
the IRS needs you to put in your
Credit card information. Which, by the way, IRS will never call you. They'll
Yeah,
send you a
seriously.
letter or
Don't,
arrest
like,
you.
I know we're going way off topic.
They never will.
Seriously,
They never will.
Tell them to put it in writing.
Yeah. If someone calls you and pretends to be a cop or IRS or whatever, hang up and call right back. Not to
Seriously.
that same phone. Call to the main line. If they don't know who it is, good chances.
And by the way, the IRS actually will call you. But if they will call you, but if you ask for it in writing, they don't go, oh, they'll be like, all right, yeah. Because
Yeah,
they
they'll
know
stop.
how it's supposed to work. They're like, yeah, thank you for being like on top of it and knowing this about us, so
Yeah.
there's no issues. But realistically, they won't call you unless they have shit on you and you're going to jail.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
You have to be fucked.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. They've called for like discrepancies for like me for like business taxes. They'll like call and be like, hey, this is a discrepancy and everything like that. They're like, but stop right there. We're gonna send this to you.
Yeah, no,
Like,
they're
stop right there. Stop
they
talking.
don't.
We're gonna send this
Yeah,
to you.
they
Like,
don't fuck around. They don't
yeah.
ask for your information. They're like, don't give us any information.
I've actually tried, like, from a person that I knew was legit, because I've called in to like resolve some taxes. I'm like, oh, can I just
they
pay it?
don't.
Can I just pay it? And they're
They
like,
do
we don't
not.
take information
No,
over the phone.
no.
We don't
They
save
don't
it.
want to have
We don't do
anything
anything.
to do with any
Yeah.
of that shit.
Nope.
I've heard that from so many
Yep.
people where they're like, oh, I'm an accountant. Yeah, I have to call them all the time. They're like, it's a nightmare because they will not do anything. I have to email them, and then I have to fucking send it in.
I think the only thing that has ever happened was in certain. I don't even know if it was like the federal tax. It might have been state tax, where they're like, "Look, we don't take your information. We don't memorize anything. I'm gonna send you to the automated system, and you have to put in the information yourself, not us. It's like we don't keep anything.
They really
we don't do anything.
They want nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
so
they want
please
nothing to do with it.
Don't put any information in.
Yeah,
Anywho, that's way off topic. Sorry,
way
go
off
ahead.
topic. But anyway,
You're welcome. Go ahead.
so this case has a lot of like weird instances. We're gonna jump into it, but I wanted to kind of show you some of the weird instances that were going on, and then how this ties back, how his death tied back to Inslaw and a bigger conspiracy that led to MK Ultra, JFK assassination,
Okay.
and all this by testimonial events, by hearsay, pretty much. It led back, right? So there's no hard evidence the government did this, but there's a lot of speculation, a lot of conspiracy theory that comes from those things, including a part of these branches are Danny Casalaro, JFK, MK Ultra, Tuskegee experiments, all that stuff ties in, supposed to. So, Joseph Daniel Casalaro was born June 16th, 1947. He was an American freelance writer who came to the public attention in 1991 when he was found dead at the Sheraton Hotel. Unfortunately, this was his big break, his death. His death became controversial because his notes suggested that he was in Martinsburg to meet a source about a story called The Octopus. This centered a sprawling collaboration involving an international cabal and primarily featuring a number of stories familiar to journalists who worked in and around Washington, D.C. in the 1980s.
Mm.
The Inslaw case about a software manufacturer, which is what he was really about, whose owner accused the Justice Department of stealing his work product. The October surprise theory, which is based on this, that during the Iran hostage crisis, Iran deliberately held back American hostages to help Ronald Reagan with the 1980 presidential election, the collapse of the Bank and Credit Commerce International, and Iran-Contra. So, we're going to break this down a little bit. So this came from the owner of Inslaw, who accused the Justice Department of doing all that, of taking his information and all that stuff. And Danny Casalaro and a few of these other main characters that we're going to hear stated that they had information on the hostages who were treated horribly.
Yeah.
To be kept there until Ronald Reagan won. And he was going to look like the hero, because I don't know if you remember when you weren't born, but I remember when I wasn't born that the hostages came home literally the next day after he was elected, like that midnight. And everyone was like, yay, Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, he did it.
He did it.
Yeah.
So the idea was that he did that. Anyway, Casalaro's family claimed that he was murdered. They stated that before he left for Martinsburg, he told his brother that he had been receiving harassing phone calls late at night, that some of them were threatening, and that if something were to happen to him while he was in Martinsburg, that it would not be an accident. They also cited his well-known squeamishness and fear of blood tests, needles, and stated that they found it incomprehensible that he had ever planned or was going to kill himself, especially in the way he killed himself.
It's crazy how many times we hear that exact same thing
In
from like the
every
family.
case.
They're like, not just, oh, he wouldn't kill himself, but they're like, no, he was like deathly afraid of this
Of
shit,
needles,
and that's
yeah.
how they died. Like, it's
And-
insane. That's why I was
It's
looking
very
at you, because
common.
I'm like, again,
Again,
Yep.
it's like
it's
in every
always the
case.
same thing. Yeah.
So the way he would do so by cutting his wrist and everything like that over a dozen times, didn't make sense. A number of law enforcement officials also argued that his death deserved further scrutiny, and his notes were passed to his family. ABC News and Time Magazine, both of which investigated the case, but no evidence of murder was ever really found,
They
besides
just
these
assumed
weird
it was a
inconsistencies.
suicide.
Yeah. So,
Which sometimes I can understand because, dude, like when you look into some people's deaths, you're like, oh, like they did do it to themselves, and then you're like, why the fuck would you go through all that? Like just, but they do. It
they do.
does happen, but it's just this is
Now,
weird. This is it where they say, like you said, inconsistencies. It's like this is unnecessarily like
complicated.
weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
like just do it. Just
Now there's three opinions with this theory, and as we're gonna go through, we're gonna see which one you go because we're gonna hit the insult case right now. The first theory was that he committed suicide. Obviously, there was known that he was financially in debt. He had a lot of financial issues. He was hoping that this story breaks because
yeah, he's at the end of his rope.
apparently, literally.
I did have a question, and because you did talk about the him doing it.
Mhm.
Was there any hesitation marks?
No hesitation marks.
Okay,
According to
'cause
the
that's
notes,
like normal. That's
yeah, where you think about it and you go fuck and you like throw the
Yeah.
blade. Yeah, they didn't have that. He didn't have that. One of the things that they found, or in one of the reports that they found, was bruising on the wrists,
like
which
they like grabbed him.
Mm,
Like
allegedly is what
yeah.
people speculate could be. That's what a lot of people who are saying that he was killed are saying. They're
Okay.
saying that he
Sorry,
grabbed the
I was
wrist.
just
That's
I
fine.
just thought about that. I was like I don't know if you mentioned that.
No, 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 no,
Because
no. That's
I'm
completely fine.
sure if someone's listening to it, they're like, yeah, where's the like the little nicks and stuff? They're like apparently there's none.
Yeah, there was none in the well, as far as I could see from the notes. They didn't mention any, they didn't say anything. Obviously, I couldn't get the report, like the actual autopsy report or
Yeah,
anything.
that's actually really hard to get.
Yeah, it's not easy. People think it's like cuz a lot of these like true crime podcasts will be like, "Oh yeah, we saw the autopsy report." I know I've said it a few times. I'm like, "Do you know what you have to go through to get the autopsy report? It's fucking crazy."
And you have to hope. Most of the time, you have to just hope that it's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
That it's
And
already been released.
and it won't even be an actual autopsy
It is
report.
just
It'll be an
it's
edited, redacted.
yeah, it's like the note
form of it.
It's like the summary of it.
Yeah. So normally, like they'll have it in the autopsy notes. They'll have like the outline of the person, mark all the things and everything like that. What I found was just notes, was just written. This is what happened. So I don't know if it was the coroner's personal notes or if it was just one of the people who investigated that wrote it down. But that's all that I could find that was available. But anyway, so the third theory or the second theory was that he was about to break the case of Ronald Reagan and all that stuff, and the government got rid of him. The third one that has been now more of a popular theory with the documentary Octopus Murders is that he triggered a fight with someone.
Like
So
they tried to not stop him, but like, hey, pay you off.
he
whatever.
found out that it was fake.
Oh, the octopus murders are fake.
They think that he invested so much time into it and he was going to go broke from it that he was hoping, and the guy met up with him, started saying something, and he was like, "Oh, this is bullshit."
Like like a fake informant. Like, oh, I
Yeah.
have the story, and he's like,
Oh, this is bullshit.
oh, fuck.
And
Like-
then and then instead of reacting like, "Hey, bro, like get the fuck out of here, you're bullshit," he got angry because he was already like at the end of his rope. He got angry,
So-
and
Oh, like, are you fucking kidding me?
and then he
Like,
attacked, and then the guy must have either done something and panicked and got rid of him that way. Now I don't know, but
no. I just thought of when you said that. I thought of the Spider-Man. Do you know how much I sacrificed?
yeah,
like I
no,
could
but-
see that genuinely.
yeah, that could be a
like,
thing.
Where you're
Imagine
just
you
like,
died your
dude, I
whole-
don't have anything else.
It like not to be mean, but remember our friend Zion? Like that's a solid theory about what happened to him. Like we think that he went too far into the multi-marketing scheme, and he was like,
you just lost it.
yeah, because he
you
was
had
like, this
nothing
is all
else.
I had.
Yeah.
I bet in everything. But anyway, so those are the three prominent theories. A lot of people think that he found out that it was bullshit and he confronted the person and the person killed him. Some people think that he was a whistleblower like Snowden and he got killed for it. And some people he were just like, hey, he was destitute, bro. He was gonna kill himself anyway. But We'll
Died
see.
for the truth. Yeah, they died for the truth, was killed for the truth, or he realized it was fake and he's not going
And he
to
realized
get
there was no
anywhere.
truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Inslaw case. Ron Rosenbaum writes that the Inslaw story alone is enough to drive a sane man madness. This is the brief quote. If they ever make a movie of the Inslaw lawsuit or the Inslaw suit, he writes, it could be called Mr. and Mrs. Smith Go to Washington and Meet Franz Kafka. Whatever. Inslaw's founder, William A. Hamilton, in a previous position with the U.S. Justice Department, had developed a program called PROMISE, short for Prosecutors Management Information System. PROMISE was a designed, organized operation system to organize paperwork generated by law enforcement and the courts. After he left the Justice Department, Hamilton alleged that the government had stolen PROMISE and had distributed it illegally, robbing him of millions and millions of dollars. The department denied this, insisting that they owned it because Hamilton had developed it while working for them. This is all real. As a result of this dispute, Hamilton and the department had been in litigation since 1983. A federal bankruptcy judge ruled in 1988 that the department had indeed taken the software by trickery, fraud, and deceit. A decision upheld by a federal district court in 1988, but overturned in the appeal
Oh,
of
I was going to say good for
1991.
him, and then, oh, yeah.
Yeah, of
'Cause
course.
that
you think
shit
he's gonna-
happens all the
the
time.
time. All
Like,
the
oh,
time.
well, technically you were working for us. Like, dude, but I didn't, like, with that stuff, you have to be like, well, did you develop it on their hardware, or on their computers, or at home? Because that's different.
Yeah.
And then, that gets all into,
That's why you have a lot of these weapons manufacturers that are like, oh, I came up with this brilliant thing. Yeah, but you can't release it. Why? Because you built it with our money.
Yeah.
So
so it's ours.
it's
Yep.
ours. Anyway, so this decision was overturned and on the appeal in 1991. A theory was developed around the case with allegations that backdoors had been inserted into the software so that whoever bought a copy of it from the Justice Department could be spied upon.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like how they say like Pegasus works,
Mm-hmm.
except Pegasus for targeting systems. But it's basically the same. It's what they're trying to say. Anyway, so whoever bought a copy would be able to, from the Justice Department, could be spied on or could spy on them. The major source on the theory, both for Hamilton and later for Casalaro, was Michael Reconstudio. I don't know if you remember, is a dude that looks like the Penguin. No? Described by Rossman as a rogue scientist, weapons designer, platinum miner, and alleged crystal meth manufacturer.
So he's just a supervillain.
Kind of.
That's what it sounds like.
Reconstudio had been introduced to a friend of Casalaro's.
We will ransom them for $1 million. That's not what you think it is anymore. Oh,
$1 billion. Anyway, so he met a friend of Casalaro's by Jeff Steinberg, a longtime top aide in the LaRoche organization. Reconstudio told Bill Hamilton that he and Earl Bryan, a director of Hadron Inc., we all know what Hadron is, a government consulting firm, had paid $40 million to Iranian officials in 1980 to persuade them not to release the American hostages before the conclusion of the presidential election that saw Ronald Reagan elected president of the United States. This is the claim now known as the October Surprise, which is a known conspiracy theory.
yeah. And it's also a thing that does happen like every election cycle.
Every election cycle, they do something like that. But
Yeah.
this one was supposed to be like at the
It's
time.
like a special one, yeah.
Yeah. In the illegal distribution of PROMISE system, according to Reconstudio, in exchange for helping Reagan administration, Bryan allegedly, I skipped the whole line there, allegedly allowed to profit from the illegal distribution of the PROMISE system. According to Reconstudio, Bryan, who was a close friend and then Attorney General Ed Messi, then Attorney General Ed Messi, and had worked for Reagan when he was the governor of California, denied any involvement in either October Surprise or the Inslaw case. In addition to this allegation, Reconstituto also claimed in a March 21st, 1991 affidavit submitted to the court in the Inslaw case that he had modified Inslaw software at the Justice Department behest so that it could be sold to dozens of foreign governments with a secret backdoor which allowed outsiders to access computer using promised systems. These modifications allegedly took place at the Cabazon Indian Reservation in Indio, California. Because do you remember where the I don't know if you've ever been to California. You've been on the road there?
A little bit.
Do you know where the big T-Rex and the
No.
long neck are?
No.
There's a random little diner that's been there for years.
Oh, really?
And there's two
There's dinosaurs?
Yeah, there's two random dinosaur statues that people can go in. There's like a little gift shop in the T-Rex.
Oh, is that the dinosaur from Pee Wee Herman?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
that one.
Yeah, okay, I've seen
So
that. I
that's-
haven't seen it in person, but I remember the movie.
So that's right by there.
Oh,
That's
okay.
literally right by there. But anyway, because the reservation of was a sovereign territory where the enforcement of the U.S. law was something problematic, Reconstituto further claimed that he had worked on U.S. weapons programs, therefore at numerous corporations. One of them was Wakenhut Corporation, such as a powerful fuel air explosive. So he's making all these wild claims that he's working on these weapons and shit. On March 29, 1991, 8 days after submitting the affidavit, Reconstituto was arrested and later convicted of distributing methamphetamine and methadone.
Well, that makes sense. That's why I was saying I did all this shit. Well, of course he did. You're apparently on fucking meth. Like
Charges said he
that
said
kind of tracks. Like,
Reconstituto said that the
and
charges
it's
that he
1980s
said,
meth.
1991 meth.
Okay, same difference.
Not much difference, but Reconstituto said that these charges were set up to keep him from telling the full story. In the summer of 1990, Casalaro arranged to meet Bill Hamilton, expressing an interest in pursuing the Inslaw story. Hamilton gave Casalaro a 12-page memo Reconstituto had written detailing his allegations, not just his, but Reconstituto's ones as well.
That's a lot.
Yeah, front and back. Rosenbaum writes that the moment he got his hands on that maddening memo with its maze of illusions and reality was the moment Danny's life changed and he began into descent into an obsession that would be led to his death. He slowly, then rapidly sucked into a kind of covert ops version of Dungeons and Dragons with that memo as his guide and Michael Reconstituto as his dungeon master, is how this guy explained it. Rosenbaum, the reporter, one of the reporters.
Yeah.
So he,
I don't know what to fucking do with that. Like,
I know,
it
it
seems like okay. So he was given a memo.
by
He went
Reconstituto,
through it and was like, "Oh shit!" And then
became obsessed with it.
yeah,
Became obsessed with the words that Reconstituto and this other guy said. What was it? Not Ed Massey, but Earl Bryan. Earl Bryan, what is it? Earl Bryan and Reconstituto were telling him that since he created the Inslaw, all this was going down, and then Reconstituto added the
This-
hostages and all that stuff.
this sounds like a giant, like
Bullshit.
false flag. Shit.
Yeah,
yeah.
like-
they're like here's what we know what you want to hear. Here you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like they were
Yeah.
giving him. Yeah. Okay.
Like when
So
you hear about the CIA working with like people now, and they're like, oh yeah, they're all glowies except for like one guy, and then they get him in the act, and yeah, it's a whole thing that you hear about all the time now. This seems like a
yeah.
So what happens now isn't new. at
So-
all. They've been doing it for years.
So a lot of people, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this this area of West Virginia, but there's a lot of military. There's a lot of people. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of like military bases. You got CIA up there, headquarters.
Yeah.
You got NCIS. You got
Isn't
fucking
it
a bunch of things.
Quantico?
Right, Quantico. You got Norfolk. You got a bunch of stuff out there, right? So a lot of these people some of them are being nice and going up to Danny and going, "Hey, bro, like,
This isn't real.
quit talking to that guy. Like,
Yeah.
he's a little." He's a little boshed off his donkers. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
we're trying to be cool. I'm like, hey man,
Hey, bro. Like, hey,
not this one.
not this one,
Yeah.
right? Not this one. I don't know if it's gonna mention it here right now because I don't think it did. No, it does not mention it.
What?
Hang on. So it doesn't say it on here, but there was an account that I found, a witness account, that a person from a bar states that he saw Casalaro talking to another guy. He described the guy, and he described it to someone, and the person,
Was it Ronald Reagan?
no,
Oh,
it was an intelligence officer who worked on numerous projects. I can't remember his name. His name is very famous, but he was also one of the people involved with the whole Jack Ruby thing. Oh my God. And not the main scientist, but like his he also pops up in remote viewing. I can't remember his name.
yeah. No, sorry, it's a blank on that one.
Okay, he's this really young dude. He's a really young dude, French of origin.
Oh,
He works special ops. I think he's part of the CIA. I can't remember exactly. He has a very distinct. He looks like the stereotypical 1950s quarterback, like hair slicked back to the side,
oh,
clean cut, everything like that. I can't remember, but anyway, people say that that they see them with him, right?
mm,
And they start talking to him, and they start in the investigation. They try to find out who he is,
yeah.
and a lot of military go, "Oh, he's like an undercover guy. He
Mm.
goes undercover. He talks to people, and he like extracts information. Like that's his job and shit." And they're like, he was seen last with Danny Casalaro. So it fueled the fact that they were like, maybe he was like trying to figure out how much he knew, and when he realized, oh, he knows too much, got rid of him.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like he knows
Knew
too
a lot.
much.
Yeah.
Seems
The-
like
these are all
they
like
sent an agent out and was like, "Oh, dude, again. Well, at least I got dinner."
yeah.
Because that happens all the time too.
Yeah. And I think that's what like in a way kind of what happened. But I think this guy Reconstituto was a nut job. Like I think he was a nut job, like straight
See,
up nut.
I love stories like this. It's so interesting, but I've seen so many of them. Where you're like,
I
"Oh, it's
know.
this," and you're like, "Oh, it's not real."
Well,
Oh,
on August 5th, 1991, Casalaro phoned Bill McCoy, a retired Army CID officer, to tell him that Time magazine had assigned him to an article about the octopus. He further claimed to be working with a reporter, Jack Anderson. We all know who that is. And that publishers Little Brown and Time Warner had offered to finance the effort. All of these claims were later shown to be false, obviously. Little and Brown, for example, had rejected his octopus manuscript over a month earlier. All the magazines had rejected these theories. Were like, bro, stop.
this sounds fake.
Yeah, this sounds fake as fuck. On the same day, Casalaro's friend Ben Mason agreed to talk to Casalaro about his finances. A few days later, Casalaro showed Mason a 22-point outline for his book and expressed frustration having been tied up with a literary agent who was unable to sell it for the last 18 months. So Danny Casalaro at this point, he's like, oh man, my author can't sell this shit for fuck, whatever, right? He also allegedly complained about his sleep being disturbed by the previous 3 months by calls during the middle of the night. The following day, a neighbor of Casalaro's and a longtime housekeeper, Olga, helped Casalaro pack a leather black tote. She remembers his packing a thick sheaf of papers, so like a bundle,
Yeah.
into a dark brown or black briefcase. Casalaro said he was leaving for several days to visit Martinsburg, West Virginia, to meet a source who promised to provide an important missing piece to the story. This was the last time Olga saw him. Olga told the Village Voice, another
Paper.
magazine, another paper, yeah, that she answered several threatening telephone calls at the Casalaro's homes that day. She said that one man called at about 9 p.m. or at 9 a.m. and said, "I will cut his body and throw it to the sharks." Less than an hour later, a different man said, "Drop dead." There was a third call, sorry, but Olga remembered only that no one spoke and that she heard music as like if it was playing through the radio. A fourth call was the same as the third call, and a fifth call, this one was silent and it came later in the night. So, at about noon on August 10th, 1991, housekeeping staff discovered Casalaro naked in the bathtub of room 517.
Yeah.
His wrist had been allegedly slashed. There were 3 or 4 wounds on his right wrist and 7 or 8 wounds on his left wrist. Blood was splattered on the bathroom wall and the floor. According to Ridgway and Vaughn, the scene was so gruesome that one of the housekeepers fainted when they saw it. These are the 2 investigators.
I can understand that.
Under Casalaro's body, paramedics found an empty Milwaukee beer can, 2 white plastic liner trash bags, and a single-edge razor blade. There was also a half-empty wine bottle nearby. Ridgway and Vaughn write that nothing was placed in the bathtub drain to prevent debris from draining away, and none of the bathwater was saved. Other than the gruesome scene, the hotel room was pretty clean and pretty orderly. There was a legal pad and a pen on the desk. A single page had been torn off from the pad, and a message had been written on it. To those who I love the most, please forgive me for the worst possible thing I could have done. Most of all, I'm sorry to my son. I know deep down inside that God will let me in. Based on the note, the absence of struggle, no sign of forced entry, and presence of alcohol, police judged that the case was straightforward suicide. After inspecting the scene, they found 4 more razor blades in their envelopes in a small package. Police interviews further revealed that no one had seen or heard anything suspicious at all. The Martinsburg police contacted authorities in Fairfax, Virginia, who said that they would notify the Casalaro family. So far, before we go into the investigation and the autopsies, what do you think so far?
I can see why they would say that it's a suicide.
Yeah, it kind of
'Cause
looks
when-
that way, right?
Well, because think about it. If they know the story he's been looking at and stuff, and they realize, oh shit, it's fake, and he put a lot of effort into this, and he's already kind of
Halfway at the door, so to say.
yeah, and so I can see that. You know,
Yeah.
the wounds. All right, that's weird, but like they could have fought before, and then he's like, oh, I'm really fucked. All right,
Yeah.
time to
There's no
take the last train out of town. Like,
Right. Exactly. Like, let's get the fuck out of Dodge. You know what I mean? Like, we've
Yeah.
already done all this. Yeah. I could see that. Like, I could definitely see that. And with the whole history of financial issues, like all that stuff, I get that. Anyway, the first autopsy was performed on Casalaro's body at West Virginia University on August 14th, 1991. The coroner determined that blood loss was the cause of death. I would certainly hope so. And that death had occurred from one of the 4 hours before the body was discovered, roughly between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. on August 10th. The day after Casalaro's body was found, Village voice editor Dan Bischoff, that's an obnoxious name, received an anonymous phone call alerting him to Casalaro's death. By Tuesday, August 13th, Ridgway and Vaughn the rumors were flying, and by the next day, the crazy started coming out of the woodwork. There was vague, unsustained rumors that the mafia was somehow involved, and that the wild story even suggested that the Undertaker was an employee of the CIA hired to clean up after the agency assassination. Even at the funeral, they write that the family felt engulfed by mysteries. As the ceremony drew to a close, a highly decorated military officer in U.S. Army dress repeatedly arrived in a limousine accompanied by another man in plain clothes. The military man approached the coffin just before it was lowered on the ground, laid a medal on the lid, and saluted. No one recognized either man, and to this day, they have never been identified. Furthermore, Casalaro was known to have complained numerous times about the threatening or unsettling phone calls directed at him, often occurring late at night, including those received by his housekeeper during his absence from his home. After Casalaro's death, it was reported by several mainstream news organizations that police re-examined room 51 or 517. I'm sorry, not 51. The adjacent rooms had been rented the evening of Casalaro's death, one by Mike Looney. That's a promising name, Looney.
Tune.
The other by an unnamed family. No person reported hearing anything unusual either on the night of August 9th or the morning of August 10th. In January 1992, about 5 months after Casalaro's death, Dr. Frost of the West Virginia State Medical Examiner's Office performed a second autopsy. He returned a second suicide verdict, citing blood loss as the cause of death. Frost said there was evidence of early stages of multiple sclerosis, but the degree of severity was probably very minor. Toxicology and analysis uncovered traces of several drugs, antidepressants, acetaminophen, and alcohol. He wrote, "There was nothing present in any way that would have incapacitated Casalaro, so he would not have been incapable of struggling against an assailant, let alone been sufficient enough to kill him or anything like that," right?
It kind of seems like the usual cocktail right before you're about to check out.
Yeah,
Like,
a little
it's
bit,
like,
right?
all right,
The
yeah,
confidence
fuck it.
cocktail, as
Yeah.
as they put it.
Yeah.
So, one more, I promise, a little bit more. Ron Rosenbaum, a journalist acquaintance of Casalaro's, speculated in Vanity Fair that Casalaro may have intended his suicide to appear to be a murder triggered by his research, in order to have others look into the story after his death. Later investigations show that the FBI misled Congress about the investigation of Casalaro's death. Members of the FBI task force looking into Casalaro's death questioned and conclusion of suicide and recommended further investigation. This level of doubt was specifically significant, as they put it, because even at the time of December 1992, it was understood that to express the views risked by one's career. FBI documents show that some of the files from Casalaro are being withheld from the public currently. That is also the same response I got. When I tried to look into it, they said, this is not currently open for investigation. They gave me kind of the cold shoulder. They're like,
Yeah.
stop calling us type shit, right? Most of the time, when people get to the FBI point, this is where people start receiving the calls. When they get to the FBI point. Anyway. Some of the files which were contradicting to the FBI's investigation and everything began to what the FBI called being misplaced. They were misplaced. They were not organized. They were not gathered with the initial investigation. So basically, essentially, they went missing entirely.
Which
happens a lot too.
Yeah, with the suicide, no one's like, oh, we have to keep it all together. Like, it's sad, but it's almost like, eh.
So our heroes, Zachary Traits and Christian Hansen, due to a Freedom of Information Act, requested cases or files for the Casalaro case.
Yeah.
Martinsburg Police Department released case details to Zachary Traits and Christian Hansen because of this Freedom of Information Act and because it was technically filed as a closed case at the time. After initially being denied the information as the Department of Justice claimed to have taken over the case, the results found contradicting the statement released by the police Department back in 1991. So the statements that they made about Casalaro back in 1991 about all the information and everything showed to be contradicting after these things were released. The results revealed that there was another person who visited Danny's hotel room that same night. The eyewitness provided their statement, provided a statement in which they wrote, and a sketch was performed of this person. The sketch and statement eerily matches the description of a man named Joseph. That's his name, Joseph Collar. Joseph Collar. It's like spelled like cellular, but it's Collar.
Oh,
According to Collar's son, part of what his specialty was to be able to, or what his job was to infiltrate, retract information to find out what someone potentially knows and what they don't know. Seller was known well for psychological warfare based on witness interviews. A friend of Danny stated that he had a brief interaction with Joseph at the bar, local to his hometown, weeks before Danny's suicide. In these interactions, Danny shared his knowledge of the octopus, revealing information about international intelligence agencies, organized crime, and government corruption. This introduced a new theory that Danny Casalaro was murdered due to his knowledge of the dark crime being committed with taxpayer dollars, with information put whoever was in charge of these operations and their allies at risk for being exposed for their heinous acts. To this day, it's ruled as a suicide. Everyone has their own theory. Apart from that, they could never find a valid alibi for what Collar was doing on the day that Danny Casalaro died.
well, he is a spook. Like,
Hang on,
I
I read this case. I watched the documentary again and reread these cases. I have no clue. I want to say he committed suicide and be like, yeah, bro, come on, you found out this was bullshit and everything, but why was the guy talking to him, who's an intelligence officer?
yeah,
Why was he talking to him weeks before? Why did someone describe him as
but
being
like perfectly.
perfectly as a witness in a hotel? You know, like there's a bunch of
Yeah,
inconsistencies.
is it real or is it not real? Because right now you're towing the line of yes.
To both, yes.
That's what I
Like,
mean. Like if it's not real, you guys sure are making it difficult for
Like,
like
even the new guys that released the Octopus documentary, they were like, "Is this bullshit? Is Reconstituto a scam artist? Did Danny Casalaro bump into something?" They list all these questions. Yes, and they moved on. And I'm like, "That's the best you got." I mean,
yeah,
that's all.
because
That's
it
all you
sounds
can.
like yeah,
But also sounds
it,
kind
it,
of like
it's
nah.
it's almost like the story he was given was bullshit,
But it was
but it
real.
not complete bullshit. And maybe they were investigating him like, hey, what part of this do you actually believe? Because we need to know because some of this is real.
Yeah, I
Like,
think. I think if you really want my opinion, if this is
no.
real, if this is real, I think the not Reconstituto, but Earl is the one that did it in for him
Why?
because he's the one that was in charge of Inslaw and did all that. I think in his rage, if this all was real and they really did know something, I think in his rage they were hired to do the false flag thing. Like, hey, we're gonna give you a bunch of random information, and I think he got really angry and said real shit and was like, oops,
You weren't supposed to know that.
you weren't supposed to hear that. And then they had to call Pepe Le Bitch over there to come and clean everything up.
I don't even think you. I think it'd be a weirder scenario is if they're feeding him all this fake shit and then they start learning that it's become real and now they're like, oh no,
Fuck.
like we just because they didn't mean to feed him real stuff.
Right. They
But
didn't
it
mean to.
became real, and they
Yeah.
didn't know what else to do. It was like, yeah, you can't.
Because think about it. A grand jury found FBI documents contradicting. And they said specifically, hey, you hid this where this person said that there was a testimony of another person. If he's crazy and he killed himself,
Why'd you hide it?
why'd you hide that? And that's what the grand jury literally told him. Like, why would you hide that?
But we hear about this all the time where they do that, and it's actually end up being nothing. This happens all the time.
But this one looks like it was something. I'm sorry,
I
but
know, but it happens all the
All the
time. Where you're
time.
just like, well, why'd they redact it? Oh, well, you can't say I don't know. Like,
And
that's not an
ironically enough-
answer.
and ironically enough, if you look at the report of that witness testimony, the times that he was gone fit the times that he died. They saw them there early, like around 8-ish.
Oh, so it,
And before 11, he was
dude,
gone.
that would suck. You kill the guy and then like, what if he didn't know it was bullshit? What if that's also it too? He didn't know. The intelligence officer didn't know it was bullshit. We're like, oh fuck, he actually has stuff. Kills him, then starts going through more of the stuff and it's like,
No, you know
What?
it'd be worse. You know it'd be
What?
worse if Danny Casalaro thought it was bullshit, and then the guy showed up, and he was
And
like,
it
"Oh
turned
my
out to be
god,
real."
it's real."
yeah.
Oh,
And
bro,
that's
can
why
you
you die.
imagine?
The entire time you're like, I'm about to snake a scam artist about that. What?
And then it just can you just imagine the feeling of Danny Casalaro when he's like, because I'm sure they explained it to him. They're like, "Hey, this is real. You gotta go. You're gonna die. This is what's gonna happen. Like we're just gonna make this painless for you." And I bet you he was sitting there going like, "Oh my fucking god, this is
But
real."
how would you explain the medal thing?
What?
The medal and the guy coming up and saluting him and with the medal and putting it on the casket.
Because that's what I'm saying. Maybe he really didn't know, and the guy was like, "Oh fuck, he really didn't know. He thought this was bullshit." So he's like, "The least we could do, you know what I mean? Like we killed him, but at least
Or you get some
because by the way,
fellow conspiracy theorist out there thinking, hey, this guy was onto something. He deserves a medal. I'm going to go give it to him.
well, yeah, because here's the thing: Earl and Reconchanuto, their lives are destroyed,
Oh, really?
bro. This guy, the Reconchanuto, has been in and out of jail for decades.
Oh,
After
so
this,
just-
like decades, over and over, for charges that he claims that are false. But some witnesses,
don't they all?
hang on,
We're all
but,
innocent in here.
but some, I know, right? But some witnesses were like, "Bro, we were with him for these 3 months. He didn't do anything," and they came and arrested
Oh,
him.
they just keep.
Yeah. So he claims that there's a lot of harassment. He has backup for harassment, and Earl went quiet. Earl all of a sudden was like, "Oh, I don't remember anything about Inslaw. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no clue about anything like that." I was like, "What?" And he's
I mean,
if you look
a
it
nice
up,
fat check and
but if you look it up,
he's
he's
like-
he's the
yeah.
CEO. He's the guy. He's
Yeah.
the guy.
I've
like-
never heard of that in my life.
Yeah.
It's
And they're
like,
like,
bro.
"Oh, don't you remember the cases that you had in 1990?" Nope. Sure don't, bruh. Sure don't.
Yeah,
Cease. According to a few rumors, not anything that was written, rumors, the leather briefcase that he had is gone. No one knows where
course.
it went.
they Tesla'd it, yeah.
No one knows where it went.
Of course. It's in some warehouse somewhere that no one knows what's in it.
The witness account says that the guy left with a leather bag.
Of course he did.
I don't know what you want to
I'm-
believe, my good sir.
I'm not saying that it's all bullshit.
But it's also aliens.
No. See, this is one of those things where, like the best lie has like a crumb of truth in it. Well, maybe they told him maybe they told him the wrong truth. Someone higher up goes, wait, you told him that?
You told him
No
what
one's
now?
supposed to fucking know that. You have to fix this.
Again,
Like, that's where I'm going.
I think
it's bullshit.
yeah.
Except for parts of it, and they're going, and maybe the intelligence officer's like,
Dude,
how the fuck do you know that?
I don't think Earl and Reconchanuto. I don't think it was publicly known that they knew about Reagan. I don't think it was publicly
Maybe.
known. And I think this guy came in and was like, "You know what now?" Like you said, it's like, who told you this? And they're like, well, we can get to you, so
You're done.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm here, dog. But these guys, I might not be able to get to them,
So I'm just gonna ruin their life.
so we're gonna ruin their life.
I'm gonna
I think they offered
snake
them
this
both of them.
guy, and then like
I think they offered them both of them. They were
olive
like,
branch,
hey,
like here's
sign the
$100
paper.
million.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And one guy went, no, I have my principles or whatever, and the other guy was like, huh, okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
I hate
And
to
they're
say
like,
this,
you don't understand. If you say no, you're going to jail,
or you're gonna die.
we're gonna find reasons for you.
And I think that the only reason he doesn't die, or he hasn't died, is because he's loud. It's because he's like very like, "Wah!" Like he makes a big deal out of everything.
Yeah, but with all that, why wouldn't they do it now? Because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, probably.
Because it's been so long. They're just
Well,
like,
also,
whatever.
He's been in jail so many times. Would you believe him?
No.
He looks like a fat Schmeagle.
And especially nowadays, like with all the like supposed mob guys coming out on their podcasts and stuff, like it's become so commonplace that these guys come out with fantastical stories. Like, yeah, just let him talk, whatever, fuck it. Then no one's gonna believe him
Yeah, no one's gonna believe him.
after all this shit.
And even if you do believe him, like let's say you do believe him, and everything like that, it's like, prove it.
Yeah, you can't.
Prove
It's
it.
been too long.
Yeah. Prove it. How are you going to prove that we did all that? How are you going to prove that we did this or that we did that? It's just him talking.
Most of the guys are dead now.
Yeah.
It's been 30, 40 years.
Yeah. Especially this guy. Like this guy, we killed him when all the old members were here and they're gone. Like
Yep.
I can see that happening, but I can also see your side where you're like, yeah, they weren't supposed to tell him and they told him.
And it's not even that. I think it's a piece. There's a piece that they went.
I honestly think because at the time when he was making those claims, it wasn't established until later that the Iran-Contra. I think that was one of them, and then the Ronald Reagan thing. I think both of those things are very real because they seemed real. You know what I mean? Like the hostages did come home.
It did actually. Yeah,
it happened. Iran-Contra was a real thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton did smuggle cocaine into Alabama. Like that really, like all those things really happened. Like JFK was murdered because all of the things that people say he did. Like he was.
Hey, do you guys want to learn about the military-industrial complex?
Yeah,
that's literally what happened.
The military-industrial. I hate to be that guy, but yeah, that's literally what happened.
Because his last speech is like, "Hey, so about the," and if you look at everyone behind him, it's like,
oh my God,
like it's
this homie is dead.
I don't know if he killed himself, but I think he did kill himself.
JFK? Absolutely not.
No, he killed himself.
That was like a ricochet at best.
No, he killed himself. No, he took a cyanide pill.
A cyanide pill.
Yeah. He just happened to get shot at the same time.
Well, at the same time?
Prove me wrong.
It absolved him. No,
you can't. That's the problem.
You can't.
So much of this shit is sealed. You can't.
Who else thinks Lyndon B. Johnson was behind the assassination of JFK?
No, no. I am a good, trusting the government boy.
You want to know how?
You see the red dot too? Like,
you see like a random red dot start following us. Oh God!
Did you hear that? Like car, like.
we laugh, but they wouldn't let us upload our episode of Weird World. That never happened.
See, that's the thing. I don't know what happened, but it was just like, why this one?
It was very weird that we like said everything that happened a little later.
Yeah, that was bad. That was really, really bad. Yeah.
I think I called you and I was like, hey, man, what's happening? What's happening with this world? And he was like, I don't know, man. So you think he got given a piece of bad information or of good information that he got killed for?
Yeah.
You don't think he committed suicide at all? It's hard for me to believe because the tendons go. That's where I start drawing
that's my line because it doesn't make sense. The suicide part doesn't make sense of how he did it.
Yeah.
Him committing it makes perfect sense. Because what if all they did, what if there's no scuffle? What if they told him, yeah, this is all bullshit, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna take your bag. He's like, yeah, okay, take it. I don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah. Or maybe they did the whole hitman thing. Like, hey, we found out. We're gonna take your stuff. You're gonna sit here. You're gonna give me your hand, and I'm just gonna do this. What we got to do, and get it over with. The less you cry, the less you struggle, the easier this is gonna be. And
There's no way around it.
yeah, they
We're
gave
done.
him medication, the usual cocktail, just
Mhm.
to kind of even out
Calm him down. Yep.
yeah, calm him down a little bit, and then okay, let's get to this. Da 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 da. They did what they had to do. He grabbed the case, walked out, and let him die.
It just seems too much. The actual act. It's too much. One or two. All right, that seems excessive.
Maybe he wasn't counting. Maybe he just grabbed it and he was like,
Yeah, but
grab the
why
other one,
would
1,
you
2,
be
3,
that
4, 5.
methodical to even to be able to do that and be able to walk away and have it clean like that? Why is that the part you fuck up?
What do you mean
Like him leaving, him not having that very like only a few accounts of him talking to the reporter.
Yeah.
Like having like varying degrees of authenticity about his whereabouts during that time. Like to be able to do that, you have to have a level of intelligence.
Yeah.
Why did it stop at that?
Of him cutting?
Yes. But you know what I mean? Like
I feel like maybe again, I feel like it had to
do
do
you
a
think
lot
it was
with
a struggle and then he's like, all right, I have to finish this?
No, I think it was empathy. In a weird way, empathy and remorse.
That's worse. Like he felt bad for doing it.
Like he felt bad because he's like, oh, he really didn't genuinely know. Damn, that sucks. And he was like, ah, fuck. I
That
guess,
would
man.
suck. Like he does it and then he starts looking through the bag. He's like, he had no idea.
yeah.
I got the wrong one.
Or maybe not. Maybe he was telling him like, hey, like I really
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna say shit. Like doing the whole thing. Like I'm not gonna say anything. Like I have a kid, all that stuff. And he was like, hey, bro, write the kid a letter,
And then we're out.
and let's get this over with quickly, because I'll just shoot
Yep.
you. And he was like, I'll just shoot you, make it look worse. Like, what do you want? You know what I mean?
Oh, I did the whole like save my face from my mama thing. Like, all right, here. Well,
Let's at least do this.
it's too many.
or save my face for my kid, so my kid
Yeah.
can see me get buried and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, well, let's just do this. Write your letter. Let's get it over with. Da 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 da. And he was just like, I guess, bro. And he just like walked away because he left him in the bathtub and he left him there. So
And-
at that point, I think maybe he had already given up. After that, he was just like, yeah, we're just gonna die here now.
Or, okay, another scenario. Maybe he doesn't know how to do that. Like kill them that way. He knows a ton of other ways, but not that way.
Maybe.
So he realized he was doing it wrong. So he just kept doing it the same way because he didn't know what else to do.
Maybe he just cut multiple times just to get it over with quick.
And that's where I was going to.
Because you
Or
could
he
save
was
yourself
enjoying
maybe
it.
with one.
Or
like,
he was enjoying it.
I don't think he was enjoying it.
I'm just giving out the scenarios because
I don't
if
think he
it was supposed to be quick, 7 or 8 on one and 4 on the other isn't necessarily quick.
It is if they're really sharp, like you
It's
said.
just unnecessary.
But if yeah, I
You know
get
what I
it.
mean?
Yeah.
You walk down the road once or twice. You walk down the road once or twice, and you're out.
But what if he was afraid that he was going to survive?
Then hang out for a minute. It wouldn't take that long.
But this way he could guarantee it.
Because
you can save- 'cause you can save
that
one cut.
scenario,
You can save one cut. Like let's say someone cuts, you can try to
walk
save
down
it.
the
You can
You walk down the street.
right. But even if you do it the correct way, like let's say you tourniquet yourself off, right? Maybe you won't survive, but at least it'll get you to the point where you might be able to go to like the doctor or the hospital, and they might be able to save you, or you can call 911.
So what you're saying is that maybe he got interrupted, so he had to hurry up. Someone starts knocking at the door. You're like, oh, he's not going fast enough.
Or maybe he noticed that someone saw him at first,
Yeah,
and
or
he
he's
was like,
like
"I gotta
thinking
get
about
out
it the
of
whole
here."
time. He's like, bam, 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 done,
Yeah,
out.
and he left.
It just seems like one
Because with the witness statement, that changes everything.
Because maybe the 7 or 8 he did it first, and then the 4 is like, oh no, he's already good, so he did it at both.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just think that with the witness testimony, it changes everything. That is the solidifying factor that throws the story back into the maybe. Because if it was no account, no nothing, if that witness statement is gone, it's like, yeah, I could see the suicide. But with that witness statement, is like, but then why was he there and why did you hide it?
But sometimes there is just coincidences.
In the same room?
Yes.
He went into the same room
Yeah.
while he was alive
Yeah.
and then walked out.
Yeah.
And then Danny Casalaro killed himself.
Correct.
Maybe I'm new to the suicide game, but I don't exactly call for company when I'm thinking about killing myself. It's either you're gonna call someone that you know is not gonna answer because even though you want help, you secretly want them to not.
Yeah.
You're not gonna go to someone that's gonna show
You wanna
up.
make it seem better that you tried to call for help.
Right. You're not
Yeah.
gonna be like, hey, bro,
When
you
you
should
know you
meet me
don't-
here
yeah.
and then kill yourself afterwards.
Right now,
I know what you're trying to do. I get it.
No, like right now, I don't know what to think anymore. Because, and this is off topic, every conspiracy theorist was pretty much fucking right. So we're not gonna get into that right now. But apparently, we're all fucking right. So they're probably right. Who knows?
I'm just saying.
Like, that's a whole different thing. But I was right.
No,
That's all I'm saying.
and look, whatever you think about the Danny Casalaro case, whether you think he killed himself, whether you think he was framed for knowing the truth, or whether he found out that there was no truth to begin with, it was a tragic accident or a tragic passing that happened with Danny Casalaro. If he was onto something and he was killed for it, I think it's something that needs to be figured out by the government and be punished accordingly. But
they looked into it themselves and found themselves innocent, like usual.
The judicial branch was like, "Hey, bro, y'all didn't mention this." Like, at least they
but
did.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they do it all the time. Like, someone
know.
will actually, there'll be an actual honest person. They'll be like, "Hey, this is bullshit," and
Remember-
everyone else goes, "Nah,"
Remember the
and nothing
coroner?
goes anywhere.
Remember the coroner? The head got decapitated. He died of natural causes of an ulcer.
Yeah.
And then the the little chihuahua chewed off his head and spat it up in the garage or in the garbage can 3 miles away.
Yep.
Fucking Fami Malik, bro.
It is what it is, man.
It's Fami
Everyone
Malik,
gets
right? The
2
doctor?
shotgun blasts to the back of the head.
Jesus. True. Accurate.
I don't know what you want me to say because it's like that case. You can literally see it both sides.
Yeah.
And it be right.
Look, again, I didn't, again, the fact that everybody who's been connected to this case, everyone who's looking at this case gets calls. They've gotten threatening calls.
But I don't see why you even get calls. I don't see enough to where,
because you have to talk to people. The idea with the conspiracy theory is that it's either the cops or the government that are protecting these files and
But
that are not letting
why?
it. I don't know.
like, is
Not
it one of those
now
things,
it doesn't matter, but
yeah, but like, is it
before,
one
I
of those
guess it
things
used
with
to.
like JFK where they're like, oh yeah, we have to hold on to some of the files because some of the people are still alive. It's like, what the
Maybe.
fuck does it matter? You understand that if nothing happened, you guys are sure as shit making it seem like something happened.
Maybe, but here's the thing: in order to find as much of this information as you can, like dive deep, you have to talk or at least look at documentation that alerts Earl, that alerts Recontinudo, that alerts Ridgway and Vaughn. These are all people that the second you start looking into this case, they're all pretty much aware. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does, but who cares?
I agree. Like, I agree. That's why it's hard for me to
Because they're
believe.
not going to do anything.
Or maybe they've already done something.
That's what I mean. No, they're not going to do. By that I mean they're not going to do any more.
Yeah.
Because then if they do, it literally makes them look fucking guilty.
So now in the Octopus Murders, in the movie The Octopus Murders, those 2 journalists that are in that movie that made that documentary, they received threatening calls. They received threatening calls for months. They were going over every detail. I just went through the synopsis.
Yeah.
So for me, that's why I can't say
But
the calls
I'm
were
not
from,
saying that
from the
I'm
case.
not.
They're not. I
I'm
don't
not
think they
saying
are.
they're wrong. I'm not saying anything like that.
Right.
I'm saying that it.
It
I
seems
don't
weird. I
get
get it. Me neither.
Like it
Me
doesn't make
neither.
sense why you'd even call.
But then it doesn't make
Just-
sense that everyone who's been involved gets called.
It's interesting because it's like, okay, if you like, the best thing you can do in this scenario, and I can't believe I would even give this to my enemies. Do nothing.
Yeah.
Let it out. It'll just get buried by every fucking thing else, and it's gone. By doing that, you've made it into a bigger story. So that's where you go, okay, maybe this is real now. Because if you're calling, why would you call?
Yeah.
Oh, you're defaming us. Sue him.
So one of the why would
Just
why would
sue
you
them.
care?
Like,
Another one of the things is the one of the theories I forgot to mention until I saw this or until I reread my notes, where they think that Danny Casalaro killed himself to put eyeballs on this. Here's another story.
martyr.
Or here's another story for you. So the theory goes, and this is from a Reddit chain, that
Oh,
I know, right? How solid it is. So the theory goes is that guy, the French guy,
yeah.
came in,
We.
knocked on the door. Casalaro answered and said, "Hey, no one's going to believe you. No matter what you say, no one's going to believe you. It's airtight. Nothing's going to get out. No one's going to have any eyes on this. No one's going to have
To
anything
drive him to.
to even look in your direction." And when he left, Casalaro in a panic said, "Someone's going to watch this. Someone's going to look at this." And he killed himself to get more eyes on this particular case. Now, I don't think that's the case at all.
I think it'd be interesting if it's not menacing like that. If you literally came to him and was like, a dude,
No.
this isn't real. I'm sorry, but like.
But it's hard to not. But it's hard for him. It's hard for us to be like, this is not real when like 70% of this actually happened.
I know, but do
You know what I mean? It's
like,
it's hard.
do you understand where? What if you literally came to him and was like,
This is nothing.
dude,
I can see that.
like,
I can see that. But then
like yeah, and because what if that dude,
but then what
the
about
Frenchman?
yeah?
What if he actually believed that it's nothing, and he's literally trying to be like, hey, you're barking up the wrong tree,
But then why would he
and
take
then
the
he
case?
kills himself.
But then why would he take the case?
Maybe he was given it.
By Danny?
Yeah, and then it goes to your thing where he's like, yeah.
But here's the thing. Why would Danny give it? Here's as I'm thinking about it. Why would Danny give it up? He has affidavits of the install case actually taking place.
Maybe he has backup files.
In 1990?
I'm just saying they had these floppy disks.
You mean the things that failed every 2 seconds when you inserted them in?
They work pretty good.
No, they did not.
Yes, no, they're actually better than CDs.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah,
That's
no,
pretty
because they're
dope.
safer. Because since they have the cover, they get less damaged.
Oh, I mean, they also
They
don't
ju-
work
they
half
just-
the time.
Well, they just didn't. You couldn't put a lot on them. But what's it called?
But he had this is what I
Because
don't
why
get.
wouldn't he have backups?
He had affidavits
Yeah,
from
but-
the
but-
court. He actually had documentation that showed that the government actually weaseled this guy out of money. Like that was real. Like that showed that these guys.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm talking about the case. Because what I would do, yeah, here you go. Knowing I have it fucking backed up. Like, yeah, you know what? You're right. This is all bullshit. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. And you know what? Just show that you're right. Here.
But then why would you kill yourself?
I don't have an answer for that. I'm just saying, like
That's what I'm saying. Like, then why would you kill yourself if you knew you were
maybe
right?
it goes back to your other theory where he knows that's going to be a big issue, but he goes, it's fine. I have backups. They'll find him.
Yeah.
And to bring eyes so people will find him, he didn't know what else to do.
Yeah, that makes sense. But then again, it goes back to the whole Tenon thing. How did he do that?
Fairies.
Fairies.
I don't know. Like
I'm telling you, it. You want to make it make sense, and the more you try to make it make sense,
praying mantises.
praying mantises, a wild herd of praying mantises.
You give me a better theory.
I just gave you like 4.
Look at this guy. It's not praying mantises. Think bigger.
Think big. This is out of your scope. Clearly,
Yeah, you're in this little you're in this little box. I'm out here.
is
I'm
Danny
out
in the
here.
little box?
You're in the little what?
Is Danny Casalaro there too? Is he in the little box?
Well, technically yes.
We're done with this podcast.
No, it's just it's
We're done here.
it's
Come on, it was a good case. It was a good case. It was a good case. It was a good case.
what do you mean was, man? You're in on it. Where were you?
In my dad's nutsack at the moment.
You would say that. So you don't
was.
have an alibi.
I do. It was just a biological alibi.
Right.
I hadn't been put into rotation.
I know what you are.
As they would put it.
I know what you are.
What am I?
Vampire.
I'm not a vampire. I would not look this bad as a vampire.
Yeah, you are looking pretty orange.
Yeah, I do. Look at that.
I'm
I'm going to have to fix the color.
We got
on
that
the
healthy
editing.
Trump glow.
The
All right.
Trump glow.
All right. That's it. Bye, guys.
See you guys.